Hello everyone, Hiawatha Productions here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're once again on Train Simulator. At this point, it's pretty much just gonna be a recurring thing for probably a little while. But in any case, we're gonna be doing a quick drive this time. I did a shunting scenario. I've done two scenarios already. I did one with the digital traction N2 and one with the BR08 shunter on the Weardale and Teasdale network by Dovetail Games. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. We are going to be doing a quick drive scenario once again, and we're back to Steam. However, I do think that next time I will do a diesel locomotive, just add a little bit of variety. Just gotta remember where it was. I think it's a little further this way. This time we are going to be driving, if I can, here we go, we're going to be driving the Stanier Class 5 by Precision Locomotive Development. We are going to do the weathered version with AWS, with the parcels train. We're going to change the route. We're going to do a different route this time. We are going to do the Netherfield to Nottingham network. We're going to start at Newstead, run downhill, and then go all the way to Daybrook. I have no idea how far it is, but chances are we should be able to do the full distance. I'm hoping that it's not too far away. And we start with the downhill journey, which is very much helpful. Hopefully the recording's doing fine, because my game's lagging a good little bit at present. Right, so we're going to open the brake ejector, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply the independent brakes of some of the coaches real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Do that, and function P. There we go. Oh, why are we moving? Okay, so they're not strong enough to hold the weight of the train. Now we can undo those. Alright, whatever. It's fine. So, now that we have the game paused, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this thing. Sorry. So, this is the LMS Black 5 by Precision Locomotive Developments. This was made back when they were still called Bossman Games. But in any case, that's besides the point. We're here to look at the engine. So, this is arguably one of the best one of the best models on Train Simulator that is at this point considered to be only just a little bit dated. It's got a lot of cool little features on it. I love the texturing on it, especially with the weathered version. It looks absolutely amazing. If you look, you can see that some of the modeling's a little bit dated. Like, these are very, like, you can see that these are made from polygons and they're not true circles. Even up here, it's not quite right, but with everything else, I think it's pretty nice. Up here we have the late British Airways crest. They modeled the riveted and welded tenders. So as you can see, this is the welded tender. There's no rivets on the sides or anything like that. Absolutely fantastic job, as per usual. Here's the running number up here on the side. I do kind of wish that the number textures were, at the very least, weathered on the weather version. Like, I don't know, maybe do the number texture underneath and then have a weathering patch texture to go on top of it or something like that. That's just me, but, this is a slightly older model, so I think we can let that slide. Here's the reverser rod, and it actually does move. However, it's not a smooth motion. It's very blocky. You'll see that in a moment, but it doesn't move in a smooth motion. It moves in increments. So like it is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not too bothered by that because chances are you're not going to see it just immediately flip over to, a new position while you're on the move at speed. Unless you're like actively looking at it. As you can see, we have a little rust patch here at the front. There's the shed code, and I believe you're actually able to modify the shed code. And I think it might honestly change depending on the running number of the locomotive, but don't quote me on that. And it looks like this is the version with the lamp iron here on the side. Usually you'd see it up here towards the top of the smoke box, but on this one, it's up over here on the side, which I didn't even know that was an option on some of the Black 5s, so I think that's really cool. I got this off of Steam. This is just the standard Black 5 pack for the generic Black 5. It does not include the domeless Black 5 pack, which I believe is exclusive to PLD's website. But I really like this thing, so I'll definitely pick that up at some point in the future, and I will also very likely be picking up the Jubilee, as it is one of my favorite designs by Stanier. Real quick, we're gonna take a brief look inside the cab. You can see the people figures in here. Textures are definitely a little bit dated, but as far as I'm concerned, that is okay. They're pretty standard for train simulator models nowadays. Here you have a little canteen. Got some hose. There's the shovels. There's the fireman tools over here. There we go. Got some little chains modeled up here on the tender. And then if we look here, it says that's for the water. Shuts up, open is down. Then it's the same on the other side. Tender brake to suit 225 pounds of pressure. Excuse me, it is late while I'm doing this recording, so I apologize if I sound a little out of it or sound a little groggy or anything like that. There's the bell for the AWS fitting, which is up here and here. So that's pretty cool. And real quick, we're going to have a look at the coaches behind it. These are LMS GUV coaches. You'd see them carry things like parcels and whatnot. These appear to be empty. I don't even think you can actually put anything in them unless you wanted to program them to have child objects added, which I might do in the future once I get good at doing stuff like that. Then right here you have a little brake/baggage coach. All of these are by PLD as well. They come included with the pack, including some mineral wagons and a Midland style brake fan, but they're low polygon models. So yeah, I think that's about it on the locomotive. So now I'm going to unpause the game, click on the loco, and then we should be good to go ahead and get going. There we are. So now that we're on here, we're going to go ahead and set the lamp code, which is one here and one there. One thing that I had to get used to is actually removing them. So to remove them, you don't cycle through by clicking Control and then whichever one you want to do. You have to press Shift to get rid of it, which I guess makes sense now that I think about it. But it took me a little bit to figure out that that's what it was. But I worked it out, so it's fine. So that's our head code for parcels train. I'm going to go ahead and open the cylinder cock because we're about ready to go. Auto fireman does not exist on this engine by the looks of it, which is fine. It's not too hard to fire this thing appropriately as far as I'm concerned, so that's alright. Here's the main whistle sound. I don't know how well you can hear that, but you can kind of hear the looping in the sound effect a little bit, but I think it's fine, all things considered. You have to like really listen in order to hear it from where I'm standing, but then if you press B, it plays a alternative whistle sound. And there's a couple different options. There's one, there's another one. Lots of fun little options to work with there. Anyways, let's go ahead and have a look at the map real quick. So this is where we need to go, and we are up over here. So we don't actually have too far to travel by the looks of things, so that's all fine and dandy. So this is probably going to be a bit of a shorter video, but that is a-okay with me. So we're going to release the brakes and go ahead and go. There goes the Robinson 04 on this route. Links to everything will be posted in the description of this video for those who may be interested in picking these up. I will say, pick up this locomotive while you can, because I have absolutely no idea when, but at some point they are more than likely going to remove this from their website, as, like I said, they are in talks, not even in talks, they're in the planning stages of revamping this to meet their newer standards with models, which I'm really excited for, because it means that this is going to look a lot prettier. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they decided to build a new one from scratch, to be honest, so that this would be its own separate thing. But I'm glad that I have this, because it's nice to have little legacy things like this. So if we press F4, that's how much throttle I've got up at the moment. So I would set the brakes to running, but I don't know how I'm supposed to do that without the brakes actually coming on, or if that's even an option on this locomotive, but as far as I'm concerned, that is completely okay. I'm not going to be too bothered by it. I'm going to go ahead and try and get a screenshot for the thumbnail. There we go. I think that's pretty nice. We'll go ahead and put those controls back up. So the speed limit on this line is 70 miles per hour, which is great. We're going down hills, so we're getting some pretty good speed up at the moment. And then once we get down towards the bottom of the hill, we're going to coast and allow gravity to slow us down a little bit as we get further down the line. And then we shall go ahead and start braking for whenever the speed is set to 30 miles per hour. Alright, so everything appears to be fine. Steam generation is excellent at the moment. I say this engine's pretty free steaming, all things considered, which is something that I greatly appreciate as someone who's very inexperienced with the game. I've gotten better over the years, but even still, it's nice having something that's more than capable of, you know, generating steam pressure effectively. I don't know how well you can hear, but if you listen to it, you can hear the sound of the valve gear very lightly clanking as it's rolling along, which is a really nice feature. I like when they add little things like that, things that you don't hear whenever the locomotive is on the move and you can hear the cylinder beat coming from it. It's absolutely fantastic. Try my best not to clip into the buildings too much. I find it a little annoying whenever that happens and I'm recording a video and whatnot. Just a me thing. Yeah, there we go. Speed limit slows down to 30 and then goes back up to 70 miles per hour. There's a bit of an uphill section over here, and the grade's not steep enough for us to increase in... Oh dear. I did not mean to do that. Apologies if that messed up the recording at all. I accidentally clicked the wrong button on my keyboard. Sorry about that. Oh, I guess it's just... Is that just automatically set to that? I don't know what that's all about. And I have no idea why the track is not reloading. It'll fix itself in a second, but this sometimes happens if I completely screw up and accidentally press a random key on my keyboard. I'll tab out of the game and then the track takes forever to actually load in. But it's fixing itself, so I'm not going to restart or anything like that. There's no point as far as I'm concerned. It's just stuff. As you can see here, looking at the wheels, once that gets out of the way, we have spark particles coming from the brakes. And now that I don't know how well you were able to see that, I'll probably have to show that up close, but the brake blocks actually close onto the wheels, which is honestly a really cool feature. Like, you can actively see them clamping onto the locomotive wheels and then releasing in accordance with the brake pressure. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely love the weathering on this model. I will definitely be picking up the domeless engine version now that I'm thinking about it, because I would really like to drive the Caprati valve-geared version of the Locomotive. I absolutely love the look of that thing. Alright, we're turning onto this line here so that we can start heading towards our destination. I believe it's an uphill climb on this stretch of line, so I'm going to go ahead and put some more power down. And I'm also going to go into the cab and open the firebox so that we can get some more heat and increase the fire mass. Decreasing in speed, I'm going to go ahead and put full power down. Adjust the reverser a little bit to get more steam into the cylinders, and I think that's it. If we look here at our map view, we are here, and our destination is just up over that way. So this is definitely going to be a shorter video in comparison to some of the other ones. So I'm thinking that I will probably do another one, but with a different version of it, and maybe go in a slightly different direction. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just leave it as is. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and shut the throttle. And we gotta start slowing down. Yeah, really quickly, while we're able to, if you look down here at the wheels, the brake blocks are on and are making contact with the wheels. And now they move themselves up. I had to move out of the way so I didn't glitch into the bridge, so that was annoying. But as you can see, they are now forward, and it's in a smooth motion. It's not a glitch or anything like that. It's a smooth motion forwards, just as it should be. Absolutely incredible attention to detail. Thank you, Precision Locomotive Development. You guys did a fantastic job with this engine. Not that I feel like I need to mention this or not, but this video and all of the other videos where I've done quick drives with various locomotives that are DLC and whatnot, I have not been sponsored to do any of this stuff. I am not popular enough to even be considered for any sort of sponsorship whatsoever. I'm just simply doing this for the fun of it. Love the movement on the valve gear as well. You've got this rod here, which is that's part of the reverser rod assembly, and that's fully moving as well, doing the little bobbing movement as it's going back and forth. I absolutely love it. Alright, let's put some power down. As you can see on the map, our station is just up over yonder. In fact, there it is. I did not mean to make that preemptive stop right there, but I guess it's okay. Oh. We've reached the end. Perfect. How long was that? About 17 minutes. I think that's okay then. So yeah, definitely shorter than the last couple videos that we've done, but I personally think that's a-okay. Definitely not up to the same standard as the other ones, but you know, what can you do? It's all right. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this type of content. And please feel free to let me know what other things you'd like for me to do on Train Simulator, or even, just some general train video ideas, in general. So with all that being said, this is Hiawatha Productions signing off. I will see you all on the next one.